Hey guys, November's back here for another one of my thoughts on the G2 Immortals game coming up for the PGL Major Krakow in 16 hours. Very exciting stuff. So to recap very quickly about the main qualifier for the major that's going to happen in Romania, there's a total of 16 teams, and the thing you need to make sure is this is going to be in the Swiss format. And to recap very quickly what the Swiss format is, there's 5 rounds. Teams with 3 wins get to advance, teams with 3 losses gets eliminated. And the map pool for this is going to be Cash, Mirage, Inferno, Nuke, Train, Cobblestone, Overpass. Now the two teams that are going to face each other, G2 and Immortals. They have met once this year, and it was during the ESL Pro League Season 5 Finals on Overpass, which is a pretty comfortable map for G2. I think when they saw this veto, Immortals removed Nuke, G2 removed Mirage, G2 removed Inferno. Okay, that's kind of weird. Immortals removed Cobblestone, and then Immortals removed Cash, and then G2 removed Train. Now, I'm gonna talk about. Okay, no, I'll talk about that later. On Overpass, I think G2 were pretty happy coming into this video, but as you can see from detail stats right here, Immortals did win 3 clutches, which could have. Let's see. I guess it could have reset them once here, reset them another here, reset them once here, maybe. So G2's economy was pretty bad throughout this game, but the key thing to note is G2 won both pistol rounds this game. So if 16-10 doesn't really seem like a very blowout of a scoreline, but if Immortals did manage to win one of these pistol rounds, it could have been a much more wider score gap. Now going back to the maps, I'm not really comfortable with giving out very specific map vetoes. I'm just going to give you my thoughts on what teams are going to do, which can be completely wrong. So I'm going to give you like a general idea of what maps you can expect to see. So G2 permabans Mirage, and Immortals tend to permaban Nuke. Trainer, a map that they're both uncomfortable with, and Inferno, I'm going to have to come back to that later. So Cobblestone, Immortals are not very confident on Cobblestone. Immortals did beat SK on Cash, so I think we can see that coming through. Train we're not going to see through, Nuke no. So the maps that we can come see through is Cash, Inferno, and Overpass, but I have a gut feeling that because of this match right here, Overpass is going to get vetoed by G2. So the maps that we're likely to see are Inferno or Cash, and we might see Cobblestone. And going into the current form that the teams are in, G2 actually did win. So they lost to Immortals, they lost to a couple of BO1 teams here, and then they managed to win the ESL Pro League Finals and let themselves $225,000. While Immortals were 10th place, they're only getting $35,000. So the current form of G2 is pretty okay. However, going into the ECS Season 3 Finals, which is here, they lost to SK very convincingly on Cash. Like, they had some pretty good defaults, but the team play SK showed were pretty insane. Optic 2-0, no big whoop, everybody 2-0's Optic. FaZe 2-0. FaZe were on fire this ECS tournament, so I don't blame them for losing 2-0. If you look at Immortals, what's this? Let's DreamHack open. Yeah, so they won against SK 16-10 on Cash. If you look for Immortals remove Mirage, they're probably not going to do that because G2 removed Mirage. Yeah, remove Nuke, remove Train, but G2 also likes to remove Train. So, and is this? Oh, I was confused. I'm sorry, guys. I thought Immortals went to the ECS finals. I was wrong. DreamHack Open was the last LAN tournament they went to. Lost 2-1 against Fnatic, but managed to take Inferno. But take this with a grain of salt because Fnatic really weren't the best when they were. Currently, right now, they aren't really the best team right now. The flair that we saw from Olafmeister is pretty much gone. So, looking at these past results, I say G2's form is decent in Immortals form. Now, you might think it's pretty bad here, but I think it's also okay because they managed to defeat SK, which they haven't had on. If we look at the previous head-to-head, I believe it shows here. So they won them once in Cobblestone. I mean Overpass, and then they haven't been able to do that since. It's been pretty much large gaps. And and they managed to take down a map from Fnatic. And then they won the North America minor pretty convincingly. So I would say that both teams are quite on form, but because G2 has been playing at a higher caliber, I would give them, how do I say this? They are in a greater form, I would say, against Immortals. And judging by the maps that are going to come out, I think Immortals can be very competitive. So I would definitely not bet on a G2 straight money line. I would rather bet, because the match I believe is going to be very close. I would really recommend that you either bet Immortals handicap, which means like plus 5.5, plus 7.5, these kind of bets, or over 26.5. How, lost my train of thought. However, it is important to note that G2 are very devastating on pistol rounds, even more so than Immortals, and if Kenny's is on point, he can out-op the Operas on Immortals, and it would be a pretty swift victory for them. But that's something that you really can't justify. So the only logical bet here is to not go G2 and to go for a handicap bet on Immortals or over 26.5. Thank you for watching this video and listening to my thoughts on this match. Make sure to like the video and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching, guys.